Hello there, my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl, and this is your forecast for December 2025. Okay, we're moving on into a new year, and the new era continues. Yes, it does. Things are changing rapidly. On a collective level, we can see where we're making more technological improvements. I'm not going to get too much involved with what's going on with the world because it's a lot to take in. And I'm sure all of you out there can see the news, you can see the Instagram and those sites where that information will show up. But what I am going to talk about is what's happening for December and how we're moving into this new year. Okay? So let me put my glasses on. The first thing we have is another. We had one last month, and we have one again in December. The super full moon, but this time it's in the sign of Gemini. Okay, and this is about your communication, all forms of it, and how you speak your truth. Okay, so just know things that are words or communication or how you convey information to others may no longer be serving you. And this is something that, we have to let go of. All right? So we have this super full moon on the 4th, okay? And it starts on the Pacific side at 3:14 p.m. And this is in like California area, okay? And on the 10th, Neptune stations direct at that critical degree of 29 in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is a healing energy. It is a spiritual energy, and it's also the last sign of the zodiac. So it has a lot of possibilities for us to end some karmic cycles here. And this is the last time or the last pass that Neptune will be in Pisces. It'll be moving into Aries where there's a whole new cycle happening in 2026. Okay? So December, this month, is the last phase of our recalibration with Neptune stationing direct. Okay? Neptune enters Aries at 0 degrees on January the 26th. So this is going to be a whole new scenario. Okay, let's just put it like that for now. Okay, and on December the 17th, Mercury moves out of its shadow. It's been in retrograde in Sagittarius. And on the 19th, the new moon is in Sagittarius, and this happens at 5:43 p.m. And Venus moves into Capricorn on the 24th. Okay, so there is more happening in the skies than what I'm speaking to, but I'm condensing the information here because, we could be talking on one on December for I don't know how long, and I don't have a whole lot of recording time for that. Okay, so just enjoy your experience no matter what that experience is, okay? Because this is all about growth and taking steps into change. And we all have to, you know, make a decision or make a choice as to whether we want to change or if we want to just sit in where we are comfortable. All right? So I'm going to see you on the other side. So be there. Hello to my beautiful Aquarian collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your monthly forecast for December 2025. So a new year is ahead of us, and you should be excited, like I'm excited, because there is a new beginning happening around the end of January, where we have Saturn and Neptune conjuncting at 0 degrees of Aries. Okay, and this is a whole new beginning because we just moved out of Pisces and stationed here into Aries for some years to come. So we have yet to see what that is going to expose, but right now we're looking at the truth being told. The truth is coming out in the open. So we have yet to see what more we can see coming forward into our realities. All right, now I did an intro with the highlights. And I'm going to just jump into your forecast starting with the 4th of December. Now, Aquarius, I just want to let you know that I've had a difficult time trying to record your forecast, yours and Pisces. So this is my second go around at it. So I hope that I can get through it and I can send this out so that you can hear what's going on for you in December. Okay, so on the 4th, we have another super full moon, and it is the last super full moon for the year, of course. And this is at 13 degrees of Gemini, happening in your 5th house of joy, hobbies, romance, children, creativity. Okay? So here, this full moon is, you may have a creative project that has reached a peak. That's, one of the themes that could possibly be on your agenda. Or you may have a breakthrough moment of inspiration. You have important conversations, realizations, or decision points in a romantic relationship. Your emotions may be expressed in a more humorous and talkative way. Okay, there could be a heightened emotional connection or a significant moment related to children, whether they're yours or someone else's. You are encouraged to think things through and communicate your feelings clearly at this time. And with Gemini being this full moon being in Gemini, Gemini is a very talkative sign, and it's like a social butterfly. So you have that energy at your disposal. So take advantage of it if you have the opportunity to do so. All right, so on the 8th, we have a square. All right, and this is the first of 2 squares in the same houses. All right, this one is Mars is in Sagittarius, squaring Saturn in Pisces. And this is affecting your 11th house of memberships, groups, hopes, and wishes, and your 2nd house of finances, self worth, possessions, and your values. Okay, so squares are meant to make us wake up and grow from. Okay, so as we grow, then the squares will be less intrusive because it does create conflict, all right? And it's all about creating the balance so that you know how to handle the conflict, when it comes up. So in this case, the conflict here is between a desire for social group goals and ambition and a need for financial security and material stability. Okay, so this is your 11th house and your second house that this is happening for you. You may experience frustration when your ambitions feel blocked by financial limitations or when your social or group activities seem to conflict with your financial responsibilities. Okay? There could be arguments or tension with friends or within the group over money matters. You may feel like your financial stability is being threatened by your ambitious pursuits. Okay, so just, calm down. You need to set some boundaries for yourself, and I know that some of you are already looking at how you spend because Saturn has been in Pisces for a good while trying to restructure, create the limits, set the boundaries. And with that, you should be questioning, what you can afford to do and what you can't. Okay, and that's part of the boundaries that needs to be set when Pisces or Neptune are in action. Okay, so we're going to move on to the 14th, where we have this square happening again, but it's Mars in Sagittarius square Neptune in Pisces. And this is happening in the same houses, your 11th house and your second house. So, there's this conflict that, making you pay attention so that you will be making conscious decisions instead of whimsical ones, okay? So the conflict here is between your ambition and social goals and your financial resources and sense of value. You may struggle to align your big, ambitious goals with what is financially practical or to separate your dreams from reality. And this is the dreamy Neptune Pisces charisma. Neptune is always going to bring the fog, the confusion, things you can't see because it's a deep spiritual energy that wants you to learn how to handle the energy. And the first way of handling this type of energy is to create boundaries, okay? So that you don't get scattered and get lost in other people's information. Okay, so once you set your boundaries, then you already know what it is that you need to do outside of what someone else is doing. Because it has a tendency to bleed, so to speak, into other people's energy. And that's that healing energy that Neptune and Pisces carries. So if you have Pisces or Neptune in your chart, then you may be, one of those people who feels and wants to help make everything okay with someone else at your own expense. So just be careful. So you may struggle to align your big ambitions, I already said that. Your social and financial life is confusing at this time. You may be overly generous with friends or find it hard to put a price on your own labor. Okay, so don't sell yourself short. Okay, make some, set some big goals, which may cause financial difficulties. You may act on unclear motivations or be misled by others. So set clear boundaries and clearly define your financial goals. Okay, clearly define them right now with this because you have two squares that's happening in the same area. So you want to make sure that you get the point, because if you don't, then it becomes a do-over the next time this square happens. Okay? Let's see. Set clear boundaries. I don't know what's going on with my keys here, but it's not taking me where I need to be. So here we go. And define your financial goals and be honest within yourself about what you can realistically achieve. Okay, so what can you afford at this time, and what can you afford to give at this time? Okay, so you always need to put yourself first, when it comes to your finances, especially when this energy is active. Okay, so on the 15th, Aquarius rising, we have Mars entering the sign of Capricorn, and Mars is in its happy place in Capricorn. And this is happening in your 12th house of self undoing, hidden enemies, escapism, healing your subconscious energy, karmic energy, past life information is there as well. Let's see. And when I say retreat, I mean, quiet time. Meditation is a part of this house as well. Okay, so this is a period of internal struggle and confusion regarding your personal power and ambition, where your drive is hindered by those subconscious issues that, we all have them. That's the point of, working through these energies, is so we can bring them to light and become, stronger. The desire to act is difficult to express, and success may be achieved through spiritual or selfless pursuits. Okay? And part of the selfless pursuits could be being of service, okay, to others. So, time to focus on inner work like meditation, being of service, or letting go rather than outward assertiveness, okay? And instead of, trying to speak it out, you think about it and deal with it on the inside. However, you may feel less in control of your own fate at this time. So, this is a good opportunity for you to let go of those fears, okay? Because in the 12th house, it's easier for you to release those things that are no longer serving you, because the energy is there for you to manifest and remove, because if it wasn't in the 12th house, then it would be harder for you to connect with. But this is like a natural phase where you can connect with your 12th house and your subconscious energy and start to release those things that are sitting around you, that you didn't know was there, and those things that you did know, you can let go of. It's an easier place to be when it comes to releasing things that no longer serve you. And this is a big deal with this, super full moon too, because it amplifies things. So what's happening in your 12th house is amplified as well. All right, so let's move on to the 17th, where we have Mercury in Sagittarius moving out of its shadow. And this is happening in your 11th house of large groups, memberships, your social circle, could be some of your co-workers as well, hopes and wishes, okay? And travel could be, a part of this scenario here because we have Sagittarius involved. So you may feel a strong desire to discuss and share your beliefs, particularly those related to philosophy, travel, or higher education. You may become more involved in group activities or lead discussions with friends. You may find yourself naturally expanding your social circle, and your friendly and approachable nature helps you make new connections, which is great. Okay, so on the 19th, we have a new moon, and that's at 28 degrees, and this is also a critical degree because it's at the end of a cycle. And this is in Sagittarius, and it's also in your 11th house of groups, okay? And this new moon, it's all about, setting intentions for something new. So this new moon is a powerful time to set your intentions. You may be motivated to join new groups at this time or reevaluate your existing ones to ensure that they are supportive of your personal growth. Excuse me. You are encouraged to step out of your comfort zone and try new things, and that's part of the adventure with Sagittarius here. You may be making a fresh start that applies to goals that involve your social life and community, such as connecting with like-minded people or expanding your network in a way that feels expansive and exciting. Okay? So on the 21st, the sun is entering Capricorn, and this is happening in your 12th house, okay? And the sun is about your ego, so, and it likes to shine outwardly, but in this case, it's in your 12th house, it's going to be, happening inside. All right. So this is a time for looking back on the past year's events and actions. What happened? This is a time to reflect on career goals and consequences as well. You may have a desire for solitude, quiet, and rest to process emotions and thoughts. This is a period when emotional consequences of past events may surface, and there is a greater awareness of your subconscious drives and karmic patterns. Yeah, there's a lot of karma that is being recycled here through this year, and especially with this super full moon in Gemini. Cycles are being collected, or karmic cycles are turning around at a rapid pace. So, try not to get into any negative karma because it's going to come back to bite you really quickly. All right. Okay, so on the 24th, we have Venus entering Capricorn, and she's also moving in your 12th house as well. And Venus is the goddess of love, balance, harmony, finances, and comfort. Okay, so this transit indicates clandestine relationships. So, it might be undercover relationships happening or a need to work on love affairs that are not public or are carried out in secret. Okay, so when Venus is here, yeah, there's private, relationships going on that you don't want everybody to know about. So you may be giving out more in relationships without expecting much in return. It's possible that someone from your past may resurface so that you both can work through any unfinished business. All right. So, Aquarius, I got through it, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. And until next time, bye for now.